Time for the eyes. I've already done that one. Now let's just show you how I did that. First of all, put the light in the eye. Then, using 233, carefully go around the outside edge of the eye. Right, got it. And while we're here, we want to put the grey in the pupil too. Great. It's a very dark eye, so what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to put any foundation in the eye itself. I'm going to go in straight in with 187. Like that. Do the same on the other side. This is going to be very dark, so by putting the 187 in, it gives us a base colour that will show through, and we can also bring it back at the end if we need to. Great. And then on top of that we want 283. Now you've got a risk now of losing the eye. You can see that the colour is interfering with the grey of the pupil, so straight away we've got to look at, and I would do these one at a time, I would look at putting the pupil back in again using 181. While we're doing that, we also need the 181 on the outside edge, on top of the grey. Right. Now what I'll do here is I'll obviously let's do it then. While I'm here I might as well do it to show you. It is a good idea to do both eyes at the same time. More in particular if you're using a number of pencils, because then you could forget if you move from one eye to complete and then do the other eye, you could forget the sequence even. No, that's alright. Good. Okay, now we've also got to, now it's a bit easier for me to put that 283 in there. Now I did say it was very dark. So, in comes the black. Right, well that's going well, and now we need to darken it. And what I'm going to do, this may seem a little odd to you, we're going to use a 157 because there's a little bit of blue, and I'll show you when it comes to this over here, when it comes to the other side of this, I'll show you that I used a blue in the fur. So I kind of like the idea of using 157. It's a bit unusual to do this, but I think that's how I see the eye. And if you look at the eye now, look at the two eyes, you see how much richer that is looking. Now, if you do it like I'm doing with very painstaking care, you find that you can still see the traces of that. Okay, so let me just do the other eye. Now, you wouldn't have put those combination together, would you? 157 and 283, but it really works. Okay, now I think we'd better just use a blender. Pointed grey might be the choice to make here, and just push it together so that we lose any sparkle that there may be. And the other thing is that white now is too bright, so you just go over it. You can always bring it back again if you needed to with the white later. Go over it, but you see it looks better, doesn't it, as soon as I did that. And then we use the blender on the outside. Now what this does, this softens the effect between the pink and the white there and the black. That looks good. And there is also just telltale signs of just a little bit of colour straying like that. So I'm following this closely and carry on there, just pulling the colour from the eye and then making it look a little bit more. In fact, we can even, folks, do something like that, which, again, I don't think you've seen me do that before. Yeah, that's good. It works so well there. Let's see if we can do it again. This doesn't have to be really dark. The surround, not all the way anyway. Maybe just when it touches the inner eye. Now this is fun. There we go. And that bit over there that I showed you also repeats itself over here. Now, putting those eyes in has created then the opportunity to see how much darker the area around it needs to be. And it needs to be a little darker than that. That's why I do like to see the eye going in. Now I'm just going to use this colour that I've got on here again, as I did on the other side. Right. Now back into the eye again. Now I did say that we can refresh the eye. Well, I'm going to do that now with the 283. Don't think we need any of the 187. Remember, that's underneath there. And then with the black, put the pupil in again. And like I said, it needs to be close to the inner eye in this black now, not all over. You should now be able to appreciate that. And that blue that I use, 157, bring it back and add just a little more colour. We'd have a little bit of black in there as well, not quite dark enough. And with the white, needs to be just a little more, and a little bit of a flick in it too. You've seen me do this before. Like that. Looks lovely. Like I say, I've now got to work around the eye again with more strength. So I will get on with that, using all the colours that you've seen me use previously. 187, which that needs to come down here. 169, I did introduce that, I showed it to you, and it's a good colour, 169, because it's greyish mauvish colour, which works really well, as you can see. And we can now start thinking about building up the tone. I'll just do this one and you can get the idea of how this is going to work. Put a little bit in there, a little bit more down here, just a little bit there. Now you see that eye now is stronger than that one. And 189 is another good colour we're using. And you can afford to be a little bolder now, simply because we now know we've got the eye in, so we know how much strength to put in. This of course will be the same as the other side. That will start gradually building that up. The ivory as well. Down there. Okay, let's just see what happens when we add the colour shaper. Now you can use any one here, but I'm choosing to use the ivory colour shaper because I can use it on the edge and I can also use it flat, which gives me an opportunity to put some colour in. See, like that. You see how that works now? Try not to blow the dust off, because that dust can be really useful. There you go. Now look at that eye coming alive now. And with the colour on the colour shaper anyway, you can transfer that across. That's lovely. And then the magic of the white. The white can come back in. Oof. Dear, dear, dear Colin. Now, let that be a lesson to you folks. Clean your pencils off. A bit of white, just to add just a little bit of strength. A little bit more here, but don't destroy when I stray there a little bit. That's it. See what you can do now, you can just touch in just a little bit of colour here and there. That looks really stunning. A little tiny bit of white there. Anyway, I've given you enough information. I shall do the other eye. I'll show it to you in little bits and pieces. But now this will then start to shape this side of the nose like that. Beautiful. Okay, I'll do the other one.